Thanks to our friends over at Making Star Wars, we have far more information now about Star Wars Episode 9, but more specifically the Knights of Ren and a new type of stormtrooper directly under them. With that said though, take this with a grain of salt, despite Making Star Wars being really reliable. With that addressed though, let's go ahead and talk about what they explained may happen with Star Wars Episode 9 and the Knights of Ren, but more specifically where the Knights of Ren have actually been. According to the leak, Kylo Ren and Rey will have a lot of interactions throughout Star Wars Episode 9, and that Kylo Ren will actually not be the major threat of the film. According to Making Star Wars' source, there is another threat that has returned to the galaxy from what they are calling the Beyond, a threat that will ultimately drive Kylo Ren and Rey together, and that, quote, leaves Kylo Ren vulnerable. According to a different source from Making Star Wars though, this threat is something that we have seen before, but only briefly. This threat is supposedly the Knights of Ren. So according to the source, the Knights of Ren may actually prove to be the main threat of Star Wars Episode 9, and that they have returned from what is known as the Beyond, or most likely the Unknown Regions, after the death of Supreme Leader Snoke, potentially to maybe challenge Kylo Ren. In addition to this, we also learned a little bit more about some Red Stormtroopers or Elite Stormtroopers that should be appearing in Episode 9. Behind the scenes apparently, these Stormtroopers are called Sith Stormtroopers. This is interesting though because we know that Kylo Ren is not a Sith. He even states in The Last Jedi that he wants the Sith and the Jedi to die out. It's also quite possibly that these Sith Stormtroopers don't actually serve Kylo Ren, but serve the Knights of Ren instead. To discuss these rumors more in depth, I think it's a great idea to introduce a new threat for Star Wars Episode 9, as well as explain away what the Knights of Ren have been up to in being, quote, the Beyond. Doing what though, we don't know. It's also interesting according to the rumors that Kylo Ren and Rey will unite yet again, and that the return of the Knights of Ren actually seems to make Kylo Ren more vulnerable, as perhaps there are more Force users to challenge him, and more of Luke Skywalker's former students. The Knights of Ren relationship to Snoke will also be something else that I'm interested to learn about. Generally, going into Episode 9, the Knights of Ren are one of the biggest things I'm most excited to see, that and the return of Luke Skywalker, as I'm not sure to what extent his role may be. The Knights of Ren were only in an extremely small portion of The Force Awakens and in a flashback, and we really don't know much about them at all, so to have them be the main antagonists of Star Wars Episode 9 is a great idea. But anyway guys, leave your own thoughts on this in the comments down below, and these new rumors for Star Wars Episode 9 thanks to Making Star Wars. What do you guys think about the Knights of Ren possibly playing the role as the main antagonists, and Kylo Ren and Rey forced to team up yet again to fight a more powerful or larger foe? As always guys, I really appreciate you watching, may the Force be with you, and have a great day. Before you go, be sure to check out my other channel, The Marvelous Wave, where we talk all about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, including news, breakdowns, and theories about all upcoming and past Marvel movies. Link to the channel is in the description below.